Welcome into the Shelia Smoot Show. I am Shelia Smoot. Glad to have you along. Today we're going to be talking about fair housing and what that means to you and how you can get help if you have not been treated fairly when it comes to your housing situations. You know what? First, let me tell you what it is. The Federal Fair Housing Act, Title 8 of the Civil Rights Act of 1968, as amended, makes it illegal to discriminate in the sale, in the rental, in the financing, or advertising even of housing because of a person's protected characteristics. And here to talk about all of that: race, color, religion, national origin, sex, disability, familiar housing status, which includes families with children under 18 and pregnant women. And the expert in the area of that right here is Executive Director Lila Hackett of the Fair Housing of the Northern District, right?
Northern Alabama.
Northern Alabama. Because you've got several, right? You've got Central, you've got Northern.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Central in Montgomery, and then the Fair Housing Rights Center in Mobile.
Okay, but we're in the northern area. Tell me about fair housing and what exactly, why is this needed?
Well, our center is needed simply because people every day experience some form of housing discrimination. It's unfortunate that in 2026 it still exists, but it does. So it's necessary for us to be here to give people who experience, or at least believe they have experienced, housing discrimination an opportunity to come talk with us, share with us what happened, their experience, and let us help them determine if it was actually housing discrimination or if it was just a misunderstanding. Because sometimes that's actually what it is. It's just a simple misunderstanding that we can remedy very quickly. But then oftentimes it is actually housing discrimination. So this gives us a chance to work with them and gives them a chance to come to us, and our services are free. So we just ask people, if you think you've been discriminated against, either come to our office or give us a call.
Now, that doesn't just cover just rental and buying. It covers even financing. Talk to me about what your office covers when it comes to fair housing.
Well, we deal with rental discrimination, sales discrimination, mortgage lending discrimination, and insurance. Insurance. Oftentimes people are discriminated against in insurance. They will receive either a less valued policy, or there are some areas that insurance companies just will not write a policy.
Really?
And so when we find people who are undergoing those kind of circumstances, we say, please call us and let us try to help you correct that.
So insurance companies not writing a policy on a home you own because of a certain area, or they just not wanting to do it just because they don't like the 7 protected classes, which are race, color, religion, there is sex, there is national origin, disability, and I talked about the familiar status.
A lot of times it's because of the area. Sometimes insurance companies will decide that the value of the homes in that area are not of such that they want to insure them. Really? Or you might have an area where there are a lot of burned homes that have not been repaired, and again the values in the homes are reduced, so they decide that they don't want to insure those homes or homes in those areas. Sometimes it can be because of the tenants that you have in apartment complexes. We have a case now that we are investigating where an insurance company dropped the owners of a multifamily complex because many of their tenants were Section 8 tenants.
Wow.
So there are various reasons why companies will decide not to insure.
Can you tell us any of the companies that have been some of the worst culprits in the Northern District, or no?
No, we wouldn't.
Not right. You're going to have to, hey, you just heard it. She said if you feel like you've been discriminated against, and you know who you are if you're that company, she's not going to tell. But if you are one of the people out here listening to this and you know you didn't get insured and you have an inkling that maybe it was because of where you stayed or that you had Section 8 housing, or the area, i.e. zip codes were unfavorable, or just what was around you, you definitely need to call Fair Housing. We're going to tell you how to do that, so stick with us. Don't go away. What are some of the suspicious lines? Let's talk about the renting first. What are some of the lines? Give me those.
Well, excuse me, in our brochure we have some examples that we give, and when we say, sometimes you'll hear the apartment manager say that we're holding this apartment for someone else, or we're holding this house for someone else, and in actuality they have not really held it for someone else, or not holding it for someone else. They just decided that they didn't want to rent it to you, and it could be because of your race or nationality or sex. It could be because you have a family with children. Oftentimes it'll be families, especially with little boys. Apartment complexes don't want to rent to them. So that's one of the excuses you can hear.
And that's discriminatory.
It is discriminatory. Okay. Sometimes we just have to investigate. Sometimes they'll just tell you that the last apartment has been rented, and then if we decide to test that complex, we can find out that there are still apartments available, and the same size apartment that that person was asking for when they made the inquiry. So a lot of times we just have to do our investigation to determine whether or not that discrimination has actually happened, or if it was just a misunderstanding.
Right. Let's talk about some of the suspicious lines you hear when homeowners are trying to buy. Folks are trying to be a homeowner, I should say.
Oh, well, sometimes they will tell you that they feel like that home is just a little too expensive for you.
Would that be a real estate agent saying that, or just you, whoever you're working with?
That can be an agent. That can be an agent telling you that, you know, the house that you're inquiring about is probably just a little bit too expensive for you, and I have some other houses on the market that you might be interested in. I have been a victim of housing discrimination by a realtor, so that's why I'm so passionate about what we do. So I know that can occur.
What about financing? I never thought about the discrimination in financing, because it says fair housing, but I didn't correlate the two with financing. Of course, it's in order to get a house, you have to be financed, or you can bring cash to the table. You got a rich uncle, you can bring cash. But even then, financing, you could be discriminated against. Talk to me about some of those suspicious lines.
Well, in our booklet, we have a couple of suggestions that you might want to be aware of. They will tell you sometimes that there's a problem with the appraisal of that house. They might tell you that you have not been on your job long enough to actually apply to purchase a home. They might tell you that maybe you need at least a 20% down payment. It just depends upon the type of loan that you are applying for. Or they might tell you that they would refer you to an FHA lender that might be better than what we are providing for you or can provide for you. So there are just a number of excuses or explanations that you can hear from lenders sometimes.
I'm Shelia Smoot. Don't go away. We'll be right back after this.
I'm Angela Webb-Weinberg, your Jefferson County Treasurer. I believe financial fitness is just as important as physical fitness. That's why I created Get Fit, financially informed and thriving, to help you build strength, confidence, and peace of mind in your finances. Join me and let's get fit together. Get fit, build confidence, and thrive financially.
I'm consumer advocate Shelia Smoot. It's called the emergency scam, and it targets older, trusting adults. It's time to educate your loved ones to just hang up on the con. The scam starts with a call from somewhere like Jamaica. A loved one is in jail and needs money now.
I asked him if this was one of those fraud things, and he said, "Lady, I am trying to help your grandson get out of prison." So I went to the bank and took $1,950.
I hear stories on a weekly basis where people are bilked out of tens of thousands of dollars. And it's all from folks who are staying up, trying to figure ways to take money from people.
The best advice from the AARP: coach your loved ones to simply hang up and don't even answer calls they don't recognize. I'm Shelia Smoot. Remember, don't be a sucker, be a consumer.
Why would somebody want to discriminate against somebody with a disability? What does that look like? I mean, they're already disabled, so you're going to want to disable them again by not offering them housing.
Well, there are a number of reasons that people with disabilities are discriminated against. Most of what we see are people who are seeking reasonable accommodations in apartments where management chooses not to want to put up a ramp or not want to put grab bars. They might ask for special lighting in the apartment, a person who's partially blind or blind, persons in wheelchairs who aren't able to maneuver through doors. Sometimes bathroom doors are too small. Even if the bathroom door is wide enough, oftentimes when they get their wheelchair or walker in, they can't turn around, so it's not usable for them. And oftentimes management will say that they are not going to make those reasonable accommodations, even though by law they're required to either make them or allow that tenant to make them. So we have to frequently contact managements of multifamily apartment complexes to inform them of the law so that they will grant that reasonable accommodation. We've even had homeowners associations to deny reasonable accommodation requests or design and constructions situations. We had a professor from the University of Alabama, Birmingham, to call us several years ago because he had had a stroke and he was in a wheelchair and he needed to have his driveway widened in order to use the van that he had purchased so that his van could go up and down his driveway without any problems, so it wouldn't be on the grass. And the HOA said no. They said it might take away from the aesthetics of the community. And so we had a meeting with the Homeowners Association to just inform them that that was a reasonable
They
accommodation.
cannot do that.
And
Even though
so-
you sign off on the HOA to follow their rules, that could still be potentially discrimination because I'm now disabled and I've got a wheelchair in my van. Really? So, ooh, I'd like to see how that one shook out.
They granted the accommodation, so he was able to widen his driveway and no problems after that.
Yeah. So sexual harassment. Harassment is when a person makes unwanted sexual advances or comments or seeks sexual acts in exchange for housing benefits. Talk to me about that. Does that really happen?
It does, unfortunately. We've had several young people over the years to call us to say that they were approached by management, and sometimes it might be maintenance.
I've heard a lot about maintenance folks doing that or coming in on a person when they're already in the house. I've heard some horrendous stories lately, literally in the last couple of years about that, which was really disturbing.
It happens, unfortunately. Management will sometimes take advantage of tenants, especially young single women.
Yeah, vulnerable folks.
Yes, vulnerable, definitely. Or it might be, again, maintenance workers who will force themselves on someone or come into their homes without prior notice. And so it happens.
So they're supposed to give notice. I mean, that's a part of the Fair Housing Act. I mean, that's part of that whole thing.
Yeah, they're supposed to give notice, landlord-tenant.
Landlord-tenant Act, thank you. That's all, so that's all intertwined almost.
It is, definitely.
You know? That's very interesting. This is very interesting. And in this pamphlet I'm reading, it says fair housing is not an option. It is the law?
It is the law. It's definitely the law.
Do most people don't know about it when they're in these jobs, when they have to rent folks' homes, or when you have to be a real estate agent, or you're finding people home, or just like again on the financing end? You think most people just don't know their job or don't know the law?
They don't know the law. And that's why we offer trainings for apartment management staff. We offer trainings for realtors, just the general public. We hold fair housing summits periodically during the year. The round table that we're getting ready to hold in Tuscaloosa is another opportunity for the general public, as well as housing providers, social service agencies, all to come out and get information about fair housing, what the law requires. Management have responsibilities and they have rights too. Tenants have responsibilities and they have rights too. And the only way you can know what your rights are is that you learn. And most people don't stop to read things like that unless something happens to them. And so that's why we say it is important to come out when you see an announcement about a fair housing training or a summit or a workshop or whatever. Come out and attend. They're free. So just come out and get the information that you need so that you can make the right choices when you're trying to seek housing. Those who are providing housing can make the right choices and decisions when they're providing housing. So it's beneficial to everyone.
Right, it really is, sir. Can you share is it getting worse? Has it gotten better? I remember vividly when that happened to me. I didn't know it happened to me. I just got to Alabama from Michigan, got my brand new TV job, and I'm in Anniston, and I'm looking for a place to stay, and I didn't notice it. I know it was a nice place. I had the income, and I just did it on the phone, but I know when I showed up, she looked at me and said, I couldn't have told you we had something open. I said, yeah, you told me to come over. You had something open and to apply. I told you where I work. She says, no, I don't think that was me. I said, yeah, it was. And ding, ding, ding. I didn't really get it at first. I just arrived. I'm just looking to be housed. I got to go to work the next day. I just got started. Ma'am, either I can get in or I can't. I got to go. And I didn't notice it until I talked to my photographer. He says, hey, what happened at that place? And I told him the place I was going. I was really excited. He said, oh, you didn't get in, did you? I said, no, why? He said, oh, she never lets anybody that looks like you in. I said, what? This couldn't be. I just got here. But I have the income. I mean, I look appropriate, don't I?
Income doesn't always matter.
It doesn't. No. I thought I looked the part, but he told me they had a history because he had been there in that market, in that particular area of that. And he said, it just happened to you. And it really probably started my advocacy that made me who I am in this market. But yeah, I didn't even notice it. But when I did notice, I was so upset. I didn't know who to call. I didn't even know I had somebody I could call. I was in my 20s at the time. So for those people who are listening to this and listening to you, as calm as you are about this situation, don't let the smooth face fool you. She's going to get you if you're discriminating. How can they get in touch with you, and how, and again, give me the last, before we get to that, why do you stay in this? You've been doing this a long time. What's the value for you?
As I said, I'm passionate about this because I've experienced it. Mm-hmm. And I don't want other people to have to experience it. And if they have, mm-hmm. if they do, then I'd like to be here to assist them, to help them resolve the issues. Because sometimes when people are discriminated against, you have no idea mm-hmm. how impactful that is to their lives for a long time. Mm. And if I can give some assistance, some comfort, then I'm all for that.
All right. All right. I'm Shelia Smoot. Don't go away. We'll be right back after this. AI is rapidly changing real estate, believe it or not, and the biggest trend is that it is moving beyond simple listing searches into a full-service platform that helps buyers, sellers, agents, investors, lenders, and property managers make the right decisions faster. So the trend is AI in real estate. I know it scares you, but don't be afraid. I got somebody who's going to update us quickly on what's going on. And welcome into our consumer tip of the week with Dr. Joshua Randall, PhD, who's going to talk to us about what's going on in your real estate AI mind.
A little bit about what I do. I want to combine, or I have been combining real estate with AI. As you know, AI has taken over so many different spaces, automating businesses, kind of mainstreaming and streamlining the way companies do business, and it's changing the game in the real estate arena. So I just want to talk about how AI kind of helps the real estate agent side of things and what it does. So for one, AI helps agents stop losing leads. I mean, the biggest thing is in the AI.
It's lead generation. Lead generation is huge.
Yeah, lead generation is huge. And, you know, most agents, the problem that I'm seeing, they don't follow up enough. They may call once, they may text once, and then they may forget. But in real estate, the money is in the follow-up. You know, a buyer may be ready today, a seller may need, 3 months, a homeowner may be thinking about listing but is nervous. But so a past client may know someone looking for an agent. But what AI can do in that space is help create an automatic flow, automatic follow-up system through text, email, CRM reminders, and lead nurturing. The second thing that AI does with real estate agents is it helps create content faster. And you see, agents know they need social media, but most of them don't know what to post. So what AI does is it creates Instagram captions, Facebook posts, reel scripts, YouTube video ideas, email newsletters, market update posts, buyer education posts, seller education posts, neighborhood highlights, open house promotions, and the list goes on and on. And the third aspect of AI with real estate agents is AI helps agents communicate better. And see, a lot of deals are lost because the communication is weak. So AI can help agents write professional messages for new buyers, new sellers, expired listing owners, FSBO sellers, past clients, open house visitors, etc. So for example, AI can write something like, let's say you got a client named Sarah. You can say, hey Sarah, I know you're selling the home. It can feel overwhelming, especially when you're trying to figure out timing, pricing, and your next move. I would love to give you a simple breakdown of your options so you can make the best decision without pressure. Number 4 is AI helps agent educate clients. So AI, real estate clients, are typically confused. Buyers don't understand interest rates. Sellers don't understand pricing. First-time buyers don't understand closing costs. Homeowners don't understand inspections. Investors don't understand ARV. And families don't understand the selling timeline. So what AI can do is help agents explain complicated topics in a simple language.
I'm Shelia Smoot with your consumer tip of the week. Tell us about the Northern District as opposed to the Central. What's the difference between you're in the same state, but what's the difference between your offices?
All of us do the same thing, fair housing. We just cover different areas. Okay. We start at Shelby County and we go up to the Alabama-Tennessee line going north. Wow. We go east to the Alabama-Gaston area, Anniston to the Alabama-Georgia line, and we go west to Tuscaloosa County. So we have 29 counties that we serve. Oh, wow. A very small staff, but we do the very best that we can when people are seeking our services. They can contact us by phone, and our telephone number is 205-324-0111. We're located at 1820 7th Avenue North, Suite 110, Birmingham, Alabama. And you can go online and fill out an application. It's www.fhcna.com.
Okay. Last question. It doesn't cost anything for your services. And when you get a resolve, I mean, there must be a joy for that person getting resolved. It doesn't cost anything for them for you guys to advocate on their behalf?
Our services to the general public, free. Wow. The only cost is when we're doing training for companies. There's a cost for them. But other than that, everything else that we do is free.
And you're a nonprofit, and your funding comes from federal government?
Funding comes from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, the Fair Housing Initiatives Program, and we receive some funding from the City of Birmingham under community development.
But you're in 29 counties. Do you get any funding from other counties?
Basically, not so far. We are making an appeal to all of our counties and cities to please support us, because we would love to have a larger staff. We could do more. And with 29 counties, we need more staff people. There are just 5 of us. So that's a lot of work for a few people. So we would definitely appreciate any funding from the cities, the counties, and any of the general public who would like to make contributions to our program. We would certainly appreciate it.
All right, folks, you just heard it. Ms. Lila Hackett, thank you so much for doing such a great job with this work. You know, it's you represent quite a few folks. You represent everybody. 29 counties is a lot, based right here in Birmingham, Alabama, but open to everyone again. And we're going to put that information up. I want to thank you so much for allowing us to talk to you about this topic today. It's very important to the community, and your work is always, I've known this lady for a long time, I actually have, and her work is extremely important, and you are doing a swell job, and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
If you're being discriminated against, don't be afraid, because you have to be treated fair. I'm Shelia Smoot. Don't be a sucker, be a consumer. We'll see you next week. The Shelia Smoot Show is sponsored by the Walk-In Closet in downtown Bessemer. You want to look your best? Get dressed with the Walk-In Closet. Memory Lane in downtown Birmingham for all your sports shoe needs and your retro shoe needs. Fair Housing Center of Northern Alabama. You want to be treated fair when renting, when financing, or when finding your brand new home. Sweetie's Delectable for all your bakery cake needs at the Galleria Mall. Mama Africa Naturals, located in downtown Birmingham, and Realtor Ray Carter, Keller Williams Hoover, KW Carter can find you the new home. Call him at 205-569-8599. That's 205-569-8599. Or email him at ray.carter@kw.com. That's ray.carter@kw.com.